Hi, I'm the Space Quest historian. A while ago when I did my fair and balanced retrospective of Under a Killing Moon, the third game in the Tex Murphy series, I teased at the end that there was a remaster in the works and that all the FMV footage from the 1994 original had been upscaled to full HD, but also that the whole thing was in limbo because Big Finish Games, the fellows who own the rights to the Tex Murphy franchise, were off doing other things and didn't have the capacity to focus on a remake. But then an intrepid young lad named Yuval decided to take matters into his own hands and simply start making a goddamn remaster himself in Unreal 5. Long story short, Big Finish got whiff of this and offered to help out in whatever capacity they could spare. There was a Kickstarter to fund further development that torpedoed through its funding goal in under an hour, and now an alpha build of the proof of concept, as it were, has landed on my desk. Now, for reasons I'm not entirely clear on, at the time of making this video, I am the only one outside of the development team and the head honcho at Adventure Game Hotspot, Joshua Cleveland, who has this build, and Yuval has given me permission to show it off here, despite it being very early in development. So this is some exclusive shit right here. I'm about to take you through the first day of the game, which is the only part of this alpha that's playable, as it happened during my live stream. Now obviously this video is more of a highlights reel than a complete walkthrough, but you can go watch the full VOD on my second channel. Oh, and stick around to the end, because as I was playing this, I discovered an out-of-bounds glitch, and I'll tell you right now, this game has one of the most gorgeous out-of-bounds environments I've ever seen. It's fucking astonishing. But first, let's have a look at the proper game. Oh dear, look, I've skipped past all this. I haven't even seen this. But yeah, the original tapes for Under a Killing Moon were found. They were upscaled in-house, and before they could be sent off to a professional facility and be upscaled all the way up to, I don't know, 4 or 8K or whatever, Chris Jones fucking chucked them in the bin because he was sure that now we're done with them. Let's just throw them out. But but we did get a full in-house upscaling to, I believe, 1080p, or 720p, I can't remember, but anyway, DVD quality, which Matt Van Roon did. So there are upscales. 2K. Oh, we did a 2K upscale. I thought it was just DVD upscaled. Anyway, that's pretty cool. And this was done by Matt as well. Matt did most of the, if not all of the visual effects in Tesla Effect. But yeah, the upscales are not final, but it gives you an idea of where we're at. Also, all the speech has been rejiggered. It's not compressed to shit like it was in 1994.
5 million souls drowning in gamma rays. Some lucky people have a natural immunity to genetic mutation caused by the radiation. I'm one of them. Most of them live in the new city, but I don't. I live among the unlucky souls, the mutants and the destitute, and the wreckage of old San Francisco. My name's Tex Murphy. I'm a private detective. At least I used to be. Since my marriage hit the rocks, I haven't done much of anything. I went out tonight for the first time in a week, but all I ended up doing was spending the last of my money on a bottle of cheap bourbon. Now it's past midnight, and I'm staring out of the window of my office on the second floor of the Ritz Hotel. Just like me, the Ritz used to be something. Now it's just another grimy building in a rundown part of town. And I'm almost out of bourbon.
Remember how small this animation was in the original game? Because they couldn't, like, full screen, like, have that animation playing full screen. It would have tanked a computer in 1994. That's all fun. Okay, so now we're in Tex's office. I don't know if you can see, but the attention to detail is just fucking absurd. All the little knickknacks that are in the, like, the shelf in the original game is just basically a sprite, and all the items on it have been recreated as 3D models, even though I'm sure Doug Vandegrift just put, like, whatever the fuck photos he could find on, yeah, wherever. And as you can see, you switch between walking and interacting with the spacebar as you did in the original. It's not the two-finger salute interface from Tesla Effect, which I prefer this. I don't like the two-finger salute one where it was like combined. I like the stop-start. I'm not gonna bother you with what I'm actually doing, because I'm gonna assume most people who are watching this stream right now are at least slightly familiar with Under a Killing Moon. But wait till you get a fucking look at Chandler Avenue. Okay, so drink this in. This is very nice, right? You see, rain on the windows, a couple of speeders going by. Let's have a walk around on Chandler Avenue just before we start talking to Chelsea. I love this. Obviously, her model will be replaced eventually. Wait, let's have a look at Chandler Avenue here, shall we? Like, even the individual bits of garbage are all painstakingly modeled. And here's the thing, right? If you want to go to Coit Tower, it used to be that when you went through this thing right here, the hole in the fence here, then it would just sort of take over. You'd be on an FMV conversation. But now you can actually walk up on Coit Tower and have a look around. The delicious wiener stand. I have no idea how that eye is holding itself up. How come it's always rising in the game titles, never waning? Well, that's an interesting perspective. I suppose because Under a Killing Moon waning would be too close to whining. Look how fucking gorgeous this is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tongue lather this thing, and it's not just because I'm getting to play it for myself. Although certainly I can't deny that might be a bit of a factor. But the thing is, I've wanted a remake of this game for a long time, because when I was 14 and I saw the thing on CD-ROM the first time, it was mind-blowing. I think most people who've played it can attest to that. So this is mind-blowing to like 45-year-old me. All right, I think we've had a look around enough. Let's go have a chat with Chelsea Bot. And this is the one conversation in this alpha that is upscale, but it's still temporary upscale footage. It's not final upscale.
Well, hello, stranger.
Chelsea, you're breaking my heart.
Why? Because I've got a steady job?
Now, one thing I want you to notice is that in the original, when one character was talking, the other one was just a still image, just freeze framed. But somehow they've gone to the trouble with these upscaled FMVs of making it seem like both characters are actually talking, because they must have found some like B-roll before and after or something. When Chelsea's talking, Tex is actually moving. He's actually shuffling on his feet and stuff like that. See? Chelsea's moving.
You're right, Chelsea. You ought to be doing stand-up.
No. Look, I do enough stand-up work right here. So can I help you with something?
Yeah. And again, I mean, Tex looks like he's wearing some kind of funky skin-colored shades and shit like that. This is temporary upscaling. Don't get hung up on the upscale quality here.
Rook acts like a tough guy, but he's a softie. Just don't tell him that to his face.
One thing obviously, this is something you wouldn't pick up on in the 1994 original, but something you cannot unsee in this upscale footage is Chelsea's not looking at you. She's looking at the cue card next to her. I mean, come on, have a look at this.
I love Louis, but his friendliness doesn't fool me. He's a sharp one.
And she turned into a robot. Let's actually move the plot along, shall we? Now, start spotting references. I think especially Changus, you are going to get a kick out of this one.
Hi, Tex. We've got a new case and you won't believe who it involves. I'll transmit the information.
I'll transmit the information. No, you fucking won't. So the computer over here is running Norton Commander. There's a relief map of Mars, which will come in handy if you ever have to relieve yourself on Mars.
A relief globe of the moon. That might come in handy if I ever have to relieve myself on the moon.
Let's go have a look at good old Rook. So this is one of the 3D models that Doug Vandegrift has made for the game. Original artist on Under Killing Moon, and now modeler in this. And this is the character that he played. Unfortunately, it's still the original FMV. So we're going to skip most of this. All right, we'll move this out of the way so we can have a look at the broken glass. We have a closer look at this. Now we can rotate this stuff around and move it around. Rotating, and then we can inspect it.
Like whoever broke into Rook's window left one of his hairs behind.
It's a Serotop. Once again, the boombox and the batteries for reasons that will become apparent later. So now, and this befuddled the piss out of me. So obviously you need to get the batteries out of this thing. But you have to I don't know if you have to zoom in, but it always helps. You zoom in and you actually have to go and click on the battery compartment.
Hey, there are batteries in here.
So now you can't just like examine an inventory item and expect to like get something out of it. Tex will instinctively know where to look. Now you have to sort of direct him a bit. So a little more, yeah, you have to be a little more eagle-eyed. Also, another thing that befuddled the ever-loving piss out of me was this is a shortcut back to Chandler Avenue. And in the original, you just move one of these boards and you can just hop on through. But as you can see, there's no move. Like, you can see at the bottom here, it's going to show what available interactions there are, and there's just lunch. But no, in this one, you have to pick up this crowbar and just simply attack the bars here. And this will help you get moving on. This will also teach you how to crouch, because if you just you have to crouch under these. Alright, let's do the basketball thing so I can show you my skills and my moves.
10 seconds left. Down by 1. Murphy has the ball. He fakes. He drives. It's a 360. He's fouled.
Can't wait to see that in that animation in like upscaled HD, because it's so obviously like the lean back and the drop. You'd think that was it, right? But no. It turns out if you go up to the basketball and right click, or left click, sorry, you hold down left click. Now I'm actually carrying the basketball around. And now I can chuck it at people. Yay, physics. I just tossed it at his fucking face. Right in the face. Oh, and Clint just popped into existence. Hello, Clint. Did you see anything?
You know, I just might have something that will improve your ugly mood.
Is that so? Well, what?
Well, nothing. Alright, so let's go over and have a chat with Louis, get some of his delicious chocolate pie. Now, I should probably keep some save games. I've had some save games already, but I'm gonna overwrite my saves. And once again, it's not like when we enter this establishment that we're just treated to an FMV like in the original. You can actually walk inside and have a look. This is... Okay, we're getting some drop frames in the game here, but you get the point. But anyway, that's Louis staring blankly into space. Let's have a chat.
About a pitcher of beer and the love of a good woman, Louis.
Let's get some chocolate with a K.
You want to try a slice of my chocolate pie?
Oh, the ghost of Louis. Oh, and this one also befuddled the piss out of me for the longest time, and I had to write Yev in the Discord. I was like, wait, where's the fucking chocolate cake in my inventory? Louis gave me a chocolate cake. Where's the fucking chocolate cake? I'm soft locked. Help me. There's a bug in your game. And Yev was just like, you fucking idiot. It's on the table in front of him. It's right there. It looks delicious too. Makes a weird sound like you just dropped your keys.
Praise heaven!
Yes, feed the attic.
I saw someone prowling around the back of the pawn shop last night. I didn't get a good look at him, but I could tell he was huge.
And Chelsea also has... Chelsbot has some information for us.
Yeah, I remember Rook told me about the burglary. I remember a stranger hanging around the past couple of days. It might be a dead end, but I seem to remember that the guy had these bright green eyes and a tattoo of an anchor on his arm.
Have you noticed she has Officer Morales' eyes? Her eyes will be fixed in the final FMVs. When you compress the shit out of video footage, you wouldn't see that. Her eyes would just be like 4 pixels maximum. But once you blow it up to like, what is it, 1080p or 2K or whatever this is, then you suddenly start to notice it. Like,
Franny's a live wire. Either she or Sal is going to do time for killing the other one.
And also she's fucking looking at the cue cards again. All right. Speaking of Franny, she has also turned into a robot. She just put on her human suit. Wait, don't you know anything about the burglary? I suppose not. Oh, we need to talk to Beak as well. I don't... Oh, of course. We need to go have a chat with Mac Malden. So we're going to have to look at the newspaper. Now, I don't know, is it enough to just look at the newspaper, or do I need to zoom into the article, Burglaries Baffle Police? I think you just have to have the newspaper open and you get the address. But just for completeness sake, Burglaries Baffle Police. And my favorite is the Poet's Corner. Haiku to a taco. I can still recite this from memory. Every time we have tacos, I always recite this beautiful poem, and no one in my family knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Soft shell taco mine. What meat art thou concealing? Who cares? It's tasty. Okay, now, unfortunately, Mac Malden has not been upscaled yet either, so we're gonna skip most of this dialogue as well. We just want the deets, but you get to see the lovely transition. Yes, this is a Back to the Future reference. I asked. His station will be 3D walkable. Oh, that's amazing.
We know he's a norm, Caucasian, and has AB negative blood.
Thanks very much, Chief. I think we have all the information we need. See, the trouble with having played this game for about 1 million times is that I know all the things I'm supposed to type into this thing. He's a norm. He's Caucasian, he's male, he's red, he's got 2 eyes, his eye color is bright green eyes, AB negative blood, and none of the, and a tattoo of an anchor on his arm. Oh, I got one of them wrong. I'm blacking on this. Oh no, you're blacking on this? Okay, he's 6'4", there you go. He's about 6'3", 6'4", about 200. I always thought he said 200 pounds, but it's 300. Okay, anyway. And also Beeknerese, and so now we go and ask Chelsea Bot about Beeknerese.
Oh yeah, I know Beak. If you want to talk to him, you might try hanging out around Coit Tower.
Can fucking do, Squire. Actually, let's go and check in with Rusty, see how he's doing. And here come the laugh. Rusty says, clean up your mess. Let's just have a look in the toxic acid barrel.
Why in the world would Rusty keep a barrel of toxic acid?
Again, this footage has not been upscaled, but just wait until... Look at this. This is fucking beautiful. I cannot wait to see the updated FMV for that one. Run up and have a look at Beaky Boy. There he is. I can get in his face. Quite literally. Hello, Beaky. And you get the...
Okay, I can use this.
Beauty certificate, which is kind of on the nose. No pun intended. Anyway, he's operating out of the Snow White warehouse, so let's go and have a look. This section here...
This is Mick Flem's hangout. He'll probably be back soon. I better try and set some sort of trap for him.
Yes, thank you. Now, okay, gotta combine Rusty Doll with the batteries. String you up.
The Rusty Doll looks great on the pulley hook, but I'll need to get it to move before it'll do me any good.
It is moving. Oh no.
My Rusty trap's all set.
I haven't checked if Flem actually has a 3D model, because I've been crouching here. Flem doesn't have a model. Well, not yet. All right, I'm going to show you this, even though it's not the upscale footage. I'm going to show you this in the entirety, just to remind you of what actually happens.
Ooh, it's me, Rusty Kids, and I'm here. Mommy's come back.
The Looney Tunes moment. I've always wondered what the fuck the doll says. Something, something, and then mommy's come back. I can't unhear that he says, ooh, mommy's come back. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, anyway, do you guys want to see some dark shit? So we got the flashlight here. Don't worry, it's not the same kind of flashlight as it was in Tesla Effect. It doesn't object highlight like the Tesla Effect one does. At least I don't think it does. But here, you want to see something dark? Oh dear. Oh dear. What's all this then? Oh dear. Rusty says, clean up your mess. Now look what you made me do. So, when I was playing this, as you may or may not know, I like to break shit. So of course oh, that was a nice lightning. I wanted to see if I can get out of bounds. I wanted to see if I could break this thing, because you know it's an alpha build, and I'm just naturally mischievous like that. So I started bumping my way up against like fences and all that. Started climbing onto garbage bins and all that. I tried a lot of things. One thing I did try, which I'll show you, and again I have the developer's permission to show you these, and I've also promised to tell you that these have all been fixed in the coming development builds. So the dev is very much aware of these. Now, for instance, you'll notice that Louis' kitchen is very richly detailed, and if you go over here, the back of his, the counter and stuff, it's also very richly detailed. But there's an invisible wall here. You can't get past this divider here. Only Louis is allowed in here. So, and I was a bit bummed out because that is a very richly detailed kitchen. I wish I could have a better look at it. So it turns out all you have to do is duck, and then you can just slide right in. And now we can have a look at Louis' bum. Hello. He's blissfully oblivious to what you have in the chat. He's going, oh fuck, here we go. But hey, look at the fucking kitchen. Like every square inch of this thing is richly detailed. Like you can't see the mop, you can't see the bell peppers and shit from inside the diner, and the microwave and stuff like that. You would never. You can also dance on his furniture. There's one. Yeah, you can get up on the furnitures and dance around. Woo! Woo-hoo. As you'll notice, while you cannot, you can't really get on top of the tables inside of Francesca's pizza parlor, and you can't really get, there's an invisible wall here, so you can't get in and have a look at her kitchen. Or can you? So I was trying a bunch of shit, just to see, because, you know, you're supposed to stress test these things. You're supposed to, and also have a little bit of mischievous fun, I suppose. And here's what I did. Now, I will remind you, this has been fixed. If you set the run speed in the options to full, and you just power down the stairs here, it takes a few tries, but at some point you can make it. Do you see I did a little jump there? You can jump from the railing over, and boom, we are on the other side. We are now out of bounds. And I actually want to show you this, not to embarrass you or anything. I actually want to show you this because the out of bounds environment is fucking stunning. Like if you've ever seen all those like back rooms, liminal spaces, abandoned shopping malls, that kind of shit, it's just, I've always found them very fascinating, and so have many people. So these are the you know, the buildings, the houses that are just background texture, but as you can see, they're all modeled from every side. This is the like the nuclear fallout stuff. Oh my god, the frame rate is kicking my ass right now. So there's Louis' diner over there. So you can like frame this very nicely. Have Coit Tower in the background. Do some nice screenshots. It looks so fucking good. Yeah. And I'll show, I mean, look at that. There, you will never see this in game. You will never see these ruins up close. They are just sort of hanging out in the background. But I mean, we can obviously, there's no floor like connecting them, but if you just look up, look at this, look at the detail on just this ruined building that is only visible like in the far distance. This over here is Chandler Avenue. So this is just Horizon stuff. You got some floating buildings and all that, but again, these are just Horizon buildings. And they're so meticulously like modeled and detailed. But what really caught my eye is Ghost City over here. It takes a while to get here and to get over there, but it is worth it, believe me. Because, yeah, these are not flat textures. These are also modeled. These are actual 3D models. And again, this is just something you would see from a great distance. And I tell you, yeah, I was hoping that would happen. When the lightning goes off, it's, I don't know, it's some sort of particle effect in the horizon of the skybox or something like that. I don't know how that works, but it like fucking flash bangs the entire scenery. And when it does, especially when you're in Liminal City over here, it looks so fucking good. So, but if you just keep your eye up and you start walking around, like you just do some sort of crane shot or some sort of dolly shot across these, it just looks so fucking good. I have to beware though, because as you can see, there's plenty of solid ground, but once you hit a certain point, you can fall off the edge. I believe the edge is over there. I haven't actually gone this way. There's some lights over here. I think these are just textures over here, or part of the skybox. I don't know, because that is the edge of the world. I can see the edge of the world, and once, holy shit. If we drop down at the edge of the world, obviously we'll fall out of the map. So what, it's a long walk back. Oh fuck, did you see that? I love the lightning. It is, oh my god, it's so good. We probably should fall off the map, actually, because I just want to get back to... Like, why is this model? It's fucking beautiful. Let's fall off the edge of the map and then glitch out of bounds again, because there's something else I want to show you just briefly. Woo! See you in hell! Actually, oh shit, no, wait. I have to quickly go into new game, because if I... Once I hit, like, there's no floor. There's no floor out of bounds, so if I keep dropping, eventually the main menu won't open. You have to sort of drop down here. And the good thing about dropping down there is that it enables you to crouch under the map, like so, and that means we now have no clip. Let's see, where are we? We are now inside the electronics shop, which is closed. The only trouble is if you try to go on... I went British there. If you try to go on Chandler Avenue itself, we are unable to, because there is some sort of invisible wall or barrier that prevents us from actually going up on Chandler Avenue. But we can no-clip through... We're inside the Ritz Hotel at the moment. We're under Texas Speeder. So now we're here, we might as well go and have a look at that room with... or that outside room with all the bodies in it. As you'll recall, a bunch of corpses. Now, normally you're not supposed to be able to go out here and have a close look at them. Now, obviously, the hole in the wall hasn't appeared yet, so these aren't very well lit at the moment, but I can just sort of have a look around here and see some of the mummified corpses. Some of them I'm phasing in and out of, but liminal bums. If you recall, Franny's counter here actually had a very effective barrier that we couldn't get past. There's an invisible wall there, but not anymore. And you'll notice again, the back of the counter is intricately modeled. There's, I mean, obviously these are copy and pasted, but my god, no one is ever going to see this. This level of detail is just fucking insane. And again, robot butt. Hello. And we can now actually go and have a look around her kitchen. Now this wall, obviously you cannot see this wall from the inside, so there's nothing really on this wall. There's still an oven and a fridge, fire extinguisher. This fire extinguisher is not painted on. So much attention to detail in here. Another fire extinguisher. There will be no fire, which is something you probably need when you've got this big, massive fucking pizza oven just standing outside. How many lawsuits are waiting for when kids like put their fingers on this shit? Oh, we can go in Louis' kitchen. I have to sort of skirt around. Here we go. Oh, yeah. We're in. That's Louis. Here's what really fucks with me. I don't know if you can see that, but there's individual models for like bell peppers and lettuce and shit. This isn't like copy and pasted shit. There's individual models for like these apples and stuff. A level of attention that is like borderline psychopathic, really. It's raining inside his kitchen though. He should probably get that looked at. And lastly, because we're all fucking perverts, Chelsea bot. This is why it took a year to model Chandler Avenue. Yes. Alright, we're back in normal world. Let's go into config. Yeah, what about a CGA? Like, literally, what about a CGA filter? Filter noir. I should have known. Yes, we simply must insist on a CGA filter, if only as an Easter egg. I will remind the class that we have managed to bully one developer into applying a CGA filter to their game. Yes! Yes, we got it. We did it. That's 2 developers we've bullied into putting in a CGA filter. If you've ever played Lucid Dreaming, if you hold down the letters C, G, and A on your keyboard as you're playing, you will enable a CGA filter. For best results, there's actually also an EGA filter, so if you hold down E, G, and A on your keyboard to switch on the 16 color filter, and then apply the CGA filter on top of that in Lucid Dreaming. With all the things that are currently on Yev's plate right now with regards to developing this game and all that. I'm sure what has now climbed to the top of his priority list is the CGA filter, and I'm sure it will be nothing short of spectacular. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's going to turn out to be. That, I think, is going to do it for our trip down Chandler Avenue. You have now seen the entirety of this alpha build, and I will now do so. By the way, the button is still called Exit to DOS. The Kickstarter is still going now. As you can see, okay, it's in Danish kroner, but there's a conversion there. It had a goal of 50,000. It has shot past all of those. Anyway, the reason I'm plugging the Kickstarter is, well, one, I'm excited about this. I was excited before he sent me the build, and I've been excited about this for a long time, ever since I heard that Matt Van Rooyen had found the original tapes and upscaled them. But the reason I'm plugging this is, even though it has shot past its goal, what I'm really hoping it'll do is get to, I think it's 300,000. Yeah, 300k, because then we get the Moonchild expansion. And fuck me, do I want the Moonchild space station to be expanded. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. This definitely isn't the last you've heard from me about this remake, so stay tuned, but obviously go follow the game itself at killingmoonrising.com. So that's it from me. Take care, have a bourbon, or a Coke on the rocks if that's more your speed, and I'll see you around the Chrono Stream. Toodaloodles.